For the past few weeks, we've been giving you a behind-the-scenes look at a juried art exhibition in Montreal that showcased painters from both sides of the border who were competing for awards and recognition, but also helping to raise money and awareness for art therapy programs that assist people living with Alzheimer's and dementia. One of the paintings featured was by Carol Loeb, an art instructor at Lower Canada College in Montreal. She and her husband were spending a rainy vacation week on the road driving across Quebec when they stopped near a beautiful lake.
And pulled over, and there was a group of 7 lake. Would have been so easy to paint. And then I turned back to the car, and you saw the tire tracks snaking into this little pulled off area, and they were full of water. And it was mud, and I thought, that's it.
Not only did Carol enter the painting in the most recent brush-off competition, but it also inspired her to reach out to a childhood friend who was also a painter with an idea. Their 2-year collaboration has now been turned into a new book and drew hundreds to this art gallery in Old Montreal last summer to see an exhibit featuring all 106 of their paintings that celebrate Canada's 150th birthday. As Montreal and Canada were in the midst of their big celebrations 2 years ago with parades and acrobats, dazzling lights and fireworks, Carol Loeb and her friend Alison Grapes were on the road, traveling cross-country, commemorating Canada's 150th by painting what they saw along the way. Carol had come up with the idea while on a drive with her husband through Quebec.
So I went home, plotted it out on a map, was talking to Alison. She was living in Saskatoon at the time, and I was talking to her, and she thought the idea was pretty cool. And she was kind of low-key about it until I turned around and said, you want to do it with me? And then it was like, yes, I thought you'd never ask. And that was it. The whole thing was born.
Carol called me, and she talked about the project, and she asked if I wanted to join her, and I sat back and thought about it, and I went, absolutely.
So they spent up to 12 hours a day for 8 weeks on the road, crossing the country, stopping every 150 kilometers, 53 stops in all.
And then the idea is we both stop at the exact same location, and without consulting each other or anything, we find our own subjects to paint.
And since they were traveling the entire Trans-Canada Highway, as you might guess, their paintings featured lots of sights you'd see out on the road.
And because you're on the Trans-Canada Highway, that's why a lot of these are highways.
Yeah.
Trucks, log trucks, and roads and road signs. And so you're following the major thoroughfare across Canada.
Connects the country. And yeah, the road, it's funny, the road started as a muse and ended up as a character in the paintings in a lot of ways because you couldn't escape from it.
In Montreal, Carol painted the all-too-familiar sight of orange cones and summer road construction.
Montreal, it was one of those stops that is foremost in my mind. We're driving, and the dot, was right in the middle of a construction zone. And I went, oh my gosh, anybody that lives in Montreal would turn around and say, that's it.
Alison, on the other hand, chose to look east toward the mountains and townships. Along the way, they saw many slices of Canadian life, like the giant cow that is a landmark on Prince Edward Island, and a little too close encounter with a hawk in Alberta.
I felt a whoosh coming from behind me, and this has never happened to me before, so I looked up, and you could see, it was just over my head, and you could see the wings and going up, so we stared at it for a while, and I had no idea why.
And for Carol, the most memorable stop happened to be the last, at the very end of the Trans-Canada Highway, where it meets the Pacific Ocean in British Columbia.
Which of these was your favorite?
Terry Fox. Yeah. And when I didn't know that statue of Terry Fox was in Beacon Hill, and when I walked in and I saw him in Mile Zero, I choke up. But for me, he's the greatest Canadian hero ever. And I saw him run by when I was a kid.
One of the many memories from this trip that will last a lifetime.
What a huge opportunity to experience the country from coast to coast, doing something that we both love to do with your oldest friend.
I don't know, everybody has to have a dream and do something big once in your life. And as soon as the idea hit me, it was, this is it. Every piece, every painting has its story. I love it.
Carol's paintings, including many from the Trans-Canada 150 collaboration with Alison, will be part of an exhibition at Gallery 203 in Montreal's Old Port from May 22nd to June 5th. You can learn more about that and the book the two have put together. You can also watch episodes of the Brush Off competition and learn about how it benefits art therapy programs for people living with Alzheimer's. You could also sign up for the next Brush Off competition. You'll find it all on our website at mountainlake.org.